Hi, welcome to the show. I'm Ken Moore. It's Local Matters. Today we have three guests. One is 10 years old, and her name is Ally Beck, and she's here with her mother, Diana. And then we also have joining us Janine Walker from the Arthritis Foundation. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Ally, how are you today?
Good.
You're feeling good? It's a good day? Well, I'm glad. Well, Ally, I first met you and your mom at McMinnville Area Chamber of Commerce Greeters. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. And you came up to me and said, "Hi, I'm Ally, and I have something I want to tell you about because you are an honoree, right? And you're an honoree. Why are you an honoree?"
Because I was nominated because I was doing the arthritis walk
You were doing the arthritis walk. Why were you doing the arthritis walk?
to help bring awareness and to try to find a cure for arthritis.
Okay, and you are very interested in finding a cure because
I have arthritis.
you have arthritis. Now that might be surprising to people at home that you're 10 years old and you have arthritis. So you certainly raised my awareness that day by coming, and I'm glad you did. And we're here today to help people that are watching have their awareness raised, and maybe they'll do something to help. So it's great you're here. And Diana, thank you. And Joanne, thank you for coming today. Well, so you came and told us about this walk that was coming up and that you were raising money. Tell us about how that went. This was back in May, right?
Yes.
How did that go?
Pretty good. I raised quite a bit of money. I don't know the exact number, but raised quite a bit.
Was it
And
around $2,000?
More.
More
25.
than-
She made 20. She raised $2,500.
$2,500 during this walk. You got pledges. People gave pledges, and you sold Dutch Brother cards.
Yes.
And 20% of the cards went to the Arthritis Foundation. And then at this walk, you gave a speech. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. And you've brought that speech with you.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be willing to give us the speech right now?
Yeah.
All right. Well, just go for it.
My name is Ally Beck. I am 10 years old. I participate in the walk to bring awareness to the problem of arthritis and the effects it can have on children, adults, and their families. I was diagnosed with polyarticular idiopathic arthritis at the age of 8. My symptoms first appeared when I was 4 years old. It began with my legs and feet hurting. Then over the next 4 years, the pain got worse and went into my fingers, hands, and many other joints. I was often tired, hurting, and having headaches, which I still have to this very day. In school, my arthritis affects my ability to write for a long period of time, and I sometimes have a hard time participating in gym. Most kids look forward to the weekends, but I do not. I have to take my injections. I have one injection on Saturday night, as well as my pills I take nightly. I like to play basketball, dance, and ride my bike, but when I do, it takes a lot out of me, and I hurt as well. It is important for me for people to know that there is not yet a cure for arthritis, but there is ongoing research looking for a cure. These people need hope that someday there will be a cure. That is why the walk and fundraising is so important to me. Participating in the walk brings awareness to our local community that arthritis could affect your friends, neighbors, young or old.
Wow, I learned a lot. Thank you. That was very well done. And I'm sure people that heard you learned a lot. Well, and so you gave this speech at the walk, and then there was the event happened, and you raised all this money, and you were the honoree of that event. Is that right?
Yes.
Well, congratulations. Let's go back. You talked a little bit about there how your joints were sore. Tell me when that first started to happen and how that happened.
It started when I was 4 years old when I went to Disneyland, and I had to be in a stroller for the whole time, and my mom and dad didn't know why, and it just really was painful and hurting.
All that walking at Disneyland, that's when you first started to notice that you couldn't do that without needing help. I see. Okay, so you were 4 years old. Well, Mom, what did you think that day?
We weren't understanding. We were there for a couple days, and at a couple points, we just had to go back to the hotel because she had a fever, hurting, crying, and she was supposedly at the happiest place,
Yeah.
Disneyland.
Yeah. And so you didn't have any idea this was arthritis.
No.
And this went on for how long? And did it come and go? Did it go away and then you didn't worry
No.
about it, or did it stay? What happened?
It didn't ever go away. She would break out in hives, actually, all over. And the doctors just said at that point it was an autoimmune problem. They didn't know.
So you went to the doctor and they didn't diagnose it right away.
No.
So when did it finally get diagnosed?
August 12th of 2014.
And Ally was how old then?
She was 8 years old.
So for 4 years,
Yes.
this was a mystery.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So, and then it was diagnosed at 8, and then how did things change then?
Well, it was actually a month later, on September 12th, same year, we went up and seen Dr. Lasky, a rheumatologist, up in Portland at Randall's, and he diagnosed her with polyarticular
Arthritis.
arthritis.
Okay. So I think what we've just done right now is let people be aware that this isn't obvious, and if something's wrong and you can't figure it out, that this is a possibility, that it looks like
Right.
soreness, fever, hives. I mean, we're not going to become doctors here, but if there's a mystery going on, we want to have some information that this might happen. Now, Janine, is this very common? Is this very rare, very common? How many people does this affect?
We have now at this point over 300,000 children that have been diagnosed with juvenile arthritis.
In the U.S.?
In the United States, yes. That is just a number, because in order to be officially diagnosed with it, a child has to see a pediatric rheumatologist. Those are not in every city. Rheumatology is a specialty, and also then being able to have pediatricians understand that this could be arthritis and referring them to a rheumatologist is also, as we can, with Ally's story, it's a very common story I have heard from many parents, that their child maybe had a fever at some point, or a virus, and then a few weeks later fell and hit their knee or hit something else, and all of a sudden it inflamed. I mean, arthritis is an inflammation of tissues around the joints, and that it would be feverish, and so it's very common that the diagnosis goes it goes undiagnosed, I should say, for a long period of time, and especially in rural areas, as there are only 3 pediatric rheumatologists in the state of Oregon, and they all are located here in Portland at Randall's Children's Hospital. They're fabulous, but that doesn't help the children that are any other place in Oregon who have to drive. Parents drive 5 hours from the Medford area or drive from Bend. We don't consider Bend and Medford to be rural, but as far as rheumatology is concerned, in pediatric rheumatology, it is.
Oh. All right. Well, thank you for that background information. 300,000 in the United States, and that's probably underdiagnosed.
Absolutely.
Because of the few juvenile rheumatoid doctors that we have.
Correct.
Well, Ally, at 8 years old, so finally they kind of figured out what was going on. What happened then? How did things change? Did you start getting medicine?
Yes, I got 1 injection for a couple of months. Then they put me on another one, and I got both of those once a week.
And where do you get those injections?
I did get them in my stomach, but now I'm getting them in my leg.
Uh-huh. And who does that?
My dad.
Your dad gives you your injections. All right. And that happens on weekends.
Yes.
So you don't really look forward to weekends?
No.
No. So you get those on the weekends, and do they have side effects? Do they make you feel better or worse?
They do make me feel better, but they also make me feel worse in side effects. They give me headaches, they make me feel sick, and I sometimes get sick.
Uh-huh. Okay, but the effects keep going from week to week and helping your pain go away, but the side effects kind of go up and down after you have the shots.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you're on another kind of medicine now, just recently. Can you tell us about that?
It's called Orencia. I get it once a month up in Portland at Randall's Children's Hospital Day Treatment Center.
And then, how do they deliver that? How does that happen?
I get the infusion, and then I sometimes have to wait for the medicine, but once they get it, they start putting the medicine in, and the medicine takes about 30 minutes to go in. Then once they are done with the medicine, they keep the needle in, and they wait 30 minutes to see if any side effects happen.
Okay, so they put a needle in your arm, and the medicine goes into your arm for 30 minutes, and then they have to wait to see how the effects. Okay, and so you go to Portland once a month for that,
Yes.
and you miss school for that
Yes.
because they're not open on the weekends. Okay, well, let's just stop. I want to talk about school next, but I wanted to talk about those medicines. Can you tell us a little bit more about what those different kinds of medicines are, Diana or Janine?
Well, methotrexate is a chemo drug. She gets a very low dose of it, but it is still chemo. So it does make her very nauseous.
I see. Methotrexate.
Methotrexate.
Okay.
And then the Orencia is an IV infusion.
And what kind of medicine is that?
It's a biological medicine.
Can you tell us some more about what that means, biological? How is that different than the chemo?
I am not have
Okay.
a pharmaceutical background, but the biologics were developed to go in and mimic the body chemistry and biological chemistry, and then attack the inflammation and the arthritis in that way. They are recently, they have not been, around for very long. They also took over 20 years to develop, and that's part of the Arthritis Foundation's mission is into research and scientific discovery. The biologics are not FDA approved for children, yet most children with advanced juvenile arthritis are on them because of the relief it does give them. But again, because it's based on each individual's biology, some work, whereas others don't. So there's a lot of trial and error, again, because we don't have the research background to know what's going to work best on children at this point. So that's why she had been on another biologic that was given once a week through an injection, and that wasn't giving her what she needed. And so her doctor, Dr. Lasky, changed her to this now infusion.
I see.
And it's a different pharmaceutical.
And Ally, how long have you been having the infusion?
I've had it for 3 weeks, and I started it on September 16th, and I've had it 3 times since.
And have you noticed any change?
Not yet, because the medicine takes a little, 3-4 months to kick in.
Okay. And so this is an experiment. You're finding your way forward here, just as in right now. It's not you have this treatment and you do it and everything's okay. You're still looking for a way forward that's going to work best for you. Okay. All
While
right.
we're waiting on the Orencia to kick in, she is also on prednisone.
I see. Okay. All right. Well, I think this is good. Now, is this different than adult arthritis? Would adults be getting similar treatment?
Absolutely.
Okay.
For autoimmune arthritis, such as rheumatoid arthritis and systemics, there is no cure per se for any arthritis. There's also no real relief for osteoarthritis, which is what most people think of when they think of arthritis. They think of a swollen joint that hurts, or that's what is most common arthritis, but there are over 100 different kinds of arthritis, and the biologics help with rheumatoid arthritis, with the autoimmune side of it, and anything that, and while it is a pharmaceutical, for people who weren't able to walk because they were in such pain, it's, an amazing treatment for them. Again, they are rather new. The long-term effects are unknown, just like any, experimental or, new pharmaceutical on the market for any kind of disease. But I will say that, yes, for the people who these work for, it has changed their life incredibly.
Okay. Well, Ally, remember I said I wanted to come back and talk about school. So school, a lot of times at school they ask the kids to sit still for a long time. Is that a problem for you?
Yeah, because I need to be able to stretch and walk around, or else my joints get really stiff and I start to hurt.
And tell me about the new chair you have.
I have a chair. It's a yoga ball chair. It has a yoga ball and then in it that I can sit on, and then it has a backrest to it.
Okay. And if it's a ball, I'm worried about you going over backwards. Is there some sort of thing that makes it so you can't fall over?
The ball doesn't really stay in place, but it will if I sit on it.
Uh-huh.
And it has wheels, but it's never tipped over.
Oh, okay. Good. So you've just had that one day?
Yes.
And that was today at school?
Tomorrow. I got it yesterday.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope that just helps you be able to move, because the ball's kind of wiggly and you can do this. And now, are you okay now? Are you feeling all right?
Yeah.
All right. Great. And if you need to stand up, right? Is that something that you also do sometimes, is stand up?
Yes.
And what else can you do in the classroom that maybe the other kids can't do or aren't supposed to do?
If we're writing something, I can type it instead of write it, because if I write for a fairly long period of time, my wrist starts to really hurt.
And you get up and you can walk, you can move around if you need to, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And this is all because there's a federal law that helps everyone be able to have the accommodations they need, right? And Diana, would you like to tell us about that?
It's a 504 plan for children that have some type of medical problem, disability.
504 plan.
Yeah.
So is that an individualized plan?
Yes, it is.
How does that happen?
The parents will go in with the school counselor, the teacher, the school nurse, and the principal, and all sit down and talk about different ways to help the child accommodate so they can learn the best.
Okay. So does that feel good, Ally, that all these people are trying to figure out how best to help you?
Yeah.
You feel pretty well supported. Is there anything else you want them to do?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. But you'd ask maybe if you did, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, good. So what else about school is different for you than maybe the other kids?
In gym, I can do other stuff or sit down while the other kids are doing something if I hurt. And I don't always have to go to recess. I can help in the kitchen, or I can go in the office and wait until recess is over.
The kitchen. What's going on in the kitchen?
I just help put away stuff with a friend or two.
Oh, okay. And you can move, and it's not too hard, like running and stuff like that. Now, you can run. In your speech, you talked about dancing and that sort of thing. So is it just for a short period of time, or some days you can run and some days you can't? What's that?
Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Normally I can.
Oh, okay, good.
But so it's not very often that I can't.
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that. So school is different, recess, in classroom. Sometimes you have to miss school because you go for your infusion. And so is there homework you have to make up? How does that work?
This year I haven't had to make up any homework yet,
Mm-hmm.
but my mom has asked if I can take anything home, but I haven't
Okay.
yet, so
Okay. Now, the days that you stay home because you don't feel good, I imagine you don't really feel like doing schoolwork either. I mean, because you're not feeling good. Is that true, or can you do homework at home when you're not feeling good?
I can do homework,
What do you do?
but my teacher gives the class a pretty long period of time,
Uh-huh.
Tuesday, and it's due Monday.
Uh-huh.
So if I don't feel like doing it that day, I can always do it the next day.
Okay. So sometimes your arthritis gets in the way, and you have to work harder other times. Okay. All right, I get it. Well, now you're an honoree, and you're an honoree at this walk. Maybe we can get a close up on this. Okay, Neil, thank you. And this was last May, and this was in Vancouver, and this is where you raised the money, and you made this poster to advertise it?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're looking up there at the screen. Walk for the Cure. Can we go in a little closer, Neil, on the side over there with all the names? Let's see what's going on over there.
And all those names are
Uh-huh.
kids who have arthritis.
Oh, and I see some there's in Lafayette
Yes.
Yes.
and Portland, and these are all kids you met and walked with.
I have not met them.
Okay.
Some of them I do know,
Uh-huh.
but most of them I do not.
Okay. All right. And let's see what else is on that screen there, Neil. The Dutch Brothers cards. You sold those and made money. Did you know kids get arthritis too? And the Walk for the Cure, and that's you. And, quite a crowd there. All right, so that was a big success. That was fun. Good for you. And that's where you gave your speech.
Yes.
All right. Now there's more things coming up. Janine, did you want to tell us about other fundraisers and how does that work?
Certainly. The Arthritis Foundation has, in the Oregon office and nationally, we have events. The national events are the Walk to Cure Arthritis, which the Portland metro area is in Vancouver. There's also one in Southern Oregon that is located in Medford. We also have coming up the Jingle Bell Run. We have one in Bend, which is December 3rd, and we have one in Portland on December 4th. So
Okay.
we'd love everybody to come down. You can get information on that off of our webpage, which is arthritis.org/Oregon.
Say that again.
arthritis.org/Oregon.
Arthritis.org/Oregon.
And the arthritis.org website is an incredible website. It's one of our resources. There's over 30,000 resources available to people with arthritis. I know that that's where Diana first went when when Alicia was diagnosed, and that's how she got a lot of information. And there are a lot of different resources on health care providers, classes to take, support groups. All of those things can be found on thearthritis.org. And then if you want to go to a local office, say the Oregon office, or if you live somewhere else, you can find an office that is close to you.
Well, Jean, you've brought some materials here today, and did we cover the fundraiser well enough? It's December 3rd in Portland.
No, December 4th in Portland.
In Portland.
December 4th, the Jingle
Okay.
Bell Run. And I think a lot of people know about the Jingle Bell Run,
Uh-huh.
but they may not know that it benefits the Arthritis Foundation.
All right, great.
And the money that we raise for the Walk to Cure Arthritis and the Jingle Bell Run locally goes to help fund our Camp JAM. That's JAM, and it's for Juvenile Arthritis Matters. And I know that Ally and her family have attended several years. It's a family camp over a weekend. And it's a fabulous experience because the children, especially the children with arthritis, go. And one of the common things we hear about is they say, I didn't know that there were other children like me.
Oh, and they get to talk.
They get to
and
talk to and
compare
play and do other things. And so it's a fabulous weekend. The children get to meet other children, siblings get to meet other siblings, the parents all get to talk. And there are, fun activities, but also resources. The children get to talk with their rheumatologists one-on-one without parents. So it's not like them when they go to their appointments. They get to ask questions of the rheumatologists that they wouldn't maybe questions they wouldn't ask in front of their parents.
So, Ally, how's camp? What's it like? What do you do? What's fun? What do you remember?
We do In Camp Jam, we did stations, and we did some crafts, and we did some birdhouses. We also got to talk with the doctors, and we played games. It was really fun.
Okay. And you did that, how long do you go? Do you sleep over?
Yes, you sleep there 2 nights.
And do you all eat together at tables in the dining hall, that kind
Yeah.
of thing? Isn't that fun? And then do you all help wash the dishes?
No.
No, they do the dishes for you? Oh, that's great. When I went to camp, we had to do the dishes ourselves, but okay, that's wonderful. And a lot of the money that you raise goes to the cure, to find the cure, and to supporting this camp.
Right, absolutely. So we, for a nominal fee, basically, an entire family can go spend the weekend at Camp Jam for $25. And if that is, and then the rest of it is funded through the Arthritis Foundation.
That is wonderful. And tell us about National Conference. You've been to National Conference, Ally?
Yes.
Where was that?
That was in Arizona.
All right, and what was that like? Was it hot? Was it?
Yes, very hot.
Now, does that feel good? Sometimes people say, oh, I wish I was in warmer weather. It makes my joints feel better. Is that true for you?
It's true, but I don't like warmer weather.
Okay. All right, so you went to Arizona, and what was fun down there?
The water park, I think, was the most funnest.
Okay, I'm hearing that. You got on slides and just slid down and had a great time.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Would you like to tell us a little bit about what conference was like for you, Diana?
Conference is a huge event. It's gotten so big, they've divided it up for 2 of them. This past year, there was one in Phoenix, Arizona, and then there was also one in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, for this past summer.
And this is just juvenile arthritis.
Yeah.
National conference.
And then next year, it's in Houston, Texas, and Indiana.
Okay, and you're planning to go?
We're sure hoping to go.
Oh, you're hoping to go?
Yes.
Okay. Well, great.
So that's where also a little bit of the money goes to, they do give scholarships as well. And we were one of the lucky families that did get a scholarship to go to the Phoenix conference
Okay,
this past year. So we got to experience it.
wonderful. Well, Janine, I mentioned all the material you have. Would you like to share with us what you...
If any of the viewers have a child with arthritis, we have resources that are available. They can go online and they can request. We have what we call our Power Pack, which is a
Okay.
backpack for younger children. It comes both backs. We have teen backpack also. They all both come with Raising a Child with Arthritis. It's an excellent resource book because, again, juvenile arthritis isn't just about the child, it's about the parent. And it's important for parents to have resources and support because as a parent, anybody who is a parent knows that nothing is more helpless than having your child hurt and you not being able to fix it for them. So having support and understanding of what is going on is extremely important for parents. And so in this Power Pack, I'll just show you because this is special because it also comes with a bear that you can heat up in the microwave so that smaller children, so then they can have a warm, fuzzy and other information for them. The teen pack comes with a warm, for their
Well, I
neck.
see so much support here. I see this as a support for
And this
children.
is free.
That's wonderful.
This is again part of the funding of the Arthritis Foundation.
And I see the conference, the jam camp, and then the research. This is all amazing that's going forward to help you and help people like you. Well, we're out of time. Thanks so much for being here. I have learned a lot, and I hope people at home have gained a better understanding and compassion and will reach out to help cure arthritis, and especially juvenile onset arthritis. Thanks for being here.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Ken.
Ken.